now, see, here's the thing. I noticed that a lot of the people that get into the hallucinogenic drugs are smart people. Obviously, this Michael, he does software. You can hear it just from his vocabulary that he's a very intelligent guy. And it's, despite their taking all the acid, they're still highly intelligent guys. And now here's the problem I have with it. This is your strength. Your strength ain't sports. It's your brain. I mean, this is really your bicep. I haven't seen you, but I know you weren't captain of the football team.
I could have been, though. I could have been.
All right. Well, listen, I could have been an astronaut, too. I just didn't want to go through the training.
I don't think you could have had him. He's a funny guy.
I would have done flatulence experiments in zero gravity.
You could have maybe been the guy that knocked the ice off the space shuttle.
Imagine breaking wind in space.
I've heard about that.
Right.
If you're the one that breaks the wind, you got to put it in the bag. So.
Listen to me. You're a highly intelligent guy, and you're messing with your strongest asset. And you may not feel any effects from it now, but down the road, I talk to Drew about this all the time, it is going to take its toll. And this is your strongest, most important muscle.
How is it going to manifest itself down the road? Or how does that usually happen as far as LSD?
Drew tells me he runs into people that basically induce themselves into a state of this, and that just becomes the reality.
Basically, that they need to have LSD, or even once.
No, it's just as if they're on it.
That's one thing.
That's one. What's the other, Drew?
That's not uncommon. The other is just chronic severe depression.
Chronic and severe depression.
And panic attacks.
That's true.
Is that likely to be augmented if there's a history of depression in my family?
Sure. I've not noticed that necessarily. It's just absolutely, you do more than 50 hits of acid, you are going to have chronic mood disturbances.
Well, he does 50 in a week.
And I know. And they sometimes don't come on until much, much later. And it really is life-altering.
Yeah, you're 22, Michael. Just give it a break.
And the sexual dysfunction stuff, somehow you hear is that. I mean, that speaks to him a little bit.
You get more into the hacky sack.
I mean, go study brain chemistry if you want to use your intellectual prowess somewhere.
Right. And Michael, just because you're a smart guy, see, here's the problem with smart guys. They think they can intellectualize everything, and I think because they can out-argue people,
right,
that there's no damage being done.
Well,
meaning, you talk to some, here's the problem. Michael talks to some born-again Christian and says, the drugs are bad, they're the devil's work, and then he argues them into the ground.
Right.
And then, therefore, thinks the acid isn't affecting him. It is.
Also,
you just shut one person up.
One thing that's hard to appreciate at 22 is the difference between information and wisdom. I mean, I've spent 15 years working in a psychiatric hospital and working in chemical dependency, and I've seen just thousands of cases. And I don't care what's in the book. I know what I've seen.
And let me tell you, kids, the difference between inflammation and wisdom. Which is a totally different thing.
Anyway, let me just one more point about the LSD. This is what I hate about LSD is people that like it. Everyone worries about the bad trip on acid. God bless the bad trip, because one bad trip, Michael stops using, he doesn't have all the problems.
Right.
Okay? The bad trip is God's way of doing you a favor.
All right. Now you're bumming my high. Melanie.
Hello?
You're 26.
Yeah, I am. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
I never spoke to a guy who took 3 or 4 tabs a day, 5 or 6 times, or 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah. And see, he seems okay, and he will be okay for quite some time. But he's 28. All of a sudden, he ends up in a psychiatric hospital.
Okay, Melanie.
Yeah.
You're 26.
I still am 26. Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with LSD. Actually, I have a question. It's probably more for Dr. Drew's wife.
My wife.
Your wife.
All right.
I'm kind of in a relationship right now with a guy who's similar to you in terms of his life's work. And we've been going out for a while. I know there's like a lot of sacrifices that the significant other person has to make.
Both of you.
And I
didn't realize how much of my life I just left until I started hearing from Adam what I missed during those 15 years of training.
Really?
I mean, there's just nothing. I didn't see any movies, didn't go out of the hospital for 10 years.
Right. You didn't see The Shining, the bastard.
Yeah, and it really is something when you look back and go, oh, hey, I have no idea what happened for that period of time in history because I wasn't connected.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But you wouldn't trade it for anything.
No, it is a sacrifice, and it's not very well rewarded these days.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't. No, I would not trade for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Is your mom Jewish?
Is my mom Jewish?
Yeah.
No, she's not.
Is your dad?
No.
What is the question exactly?
Pressure's off.
Well, I guess the question is just how do you cope? I mean, he's been gone for a couple of months on a rotation, and he's getting ready to come back. And it's been a good time for me to really think about what I want out of the relationship, and I don't know if I can kind of cope with it.
Is he a resident or I gotta ask this.
Oh,
I have to know this.
What idiot? You're not going to make a decision for her.
Hey, give me her.
Talk to her off the air. We got to go to break.
All right.
We got to go to break.
All right.
No one wants to hear about this anyway. Okay. Then it is the Loveline, Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew, and as per usual, we're going to take a little 10-second time out here. We'll be right back with more Loveline. It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. It's Dr. Drew. Matchbox 20 will be in here tomorrow to talk about their phenomenal success. Drew spoke that last caller off the air.
Oh, yeah, he just dropped off.
Well, no, I mean the last caller.
Oh, yeah. I thought
it was good and boring.
You listened, didn't you? No.
What else was I going to do in here? Drew cares so much he does stuff during the commercial. So I was in the dentist chair yesterday. I was in the dentist chair. You didn't hear that much. And, it was funny. The dentist was leaned over me. They really had enough of me. They had enough of me bitching about their technology or lack thereof.
They listen.
No, Ann filled them in.
That's nice.
Nice. So I got the guy leaning over my chair. I got my mouth open. He's in there at the drill. And I say, he says, Ann's telling me you're talking a lot of smack on the air. Not about you specifically. Oh, yes. She told me everything. I was like, oh, Christ. This guy's going to start drilling. He's going to drill through my palate and into my brain with this thing.
Uh-huh.
And to be fair, actually, he did pull out an instrument that looked to me to be circa maybe 1985, 1987.
Just to impress you.
Yeah, I questioned him on it. I said, "Hey, whoa, what is this? This looks like post-World War II technology. Is that allowed? Isn't there some sort of contract that you some oath that you're breaking in the dental code school that you're actually bringing in technology into the room?" And he was pretty pissed about that. But I'm going to say it one more time, and this is it. Somebody's got to make these mofo dentist tools out of plastic. Not the part that scrapes your tooth, just the handle. Just the part that whacks you in the tooth. Make it out of plastic, you cheap bastards. And as I tell them, and as I'll tell you, and as I've told them 100 times and you 10 times, this suggests to me that they're not interested in progress whatsoever, and that they could give a rat's ass about their patients, because they will not make the handles of the dental instruments, whether it be the mirror or the scraping tool or whatever else they use in there, they'll not make it out of something other than metallic material, which you have a reaction to when it clanks against your teeth. That to me suggests that they're not interested in doing anything. Drew, wouldn't be the first idea you'd have?
I'm
let's
sure
say
they
about
have
50 years ago.
I'm sure they have it. I'm sure they're expensive.
Right. It wouldn't be if everyone implemented it. And they always say, well, the plastic can't take the sterilization program, the heat from the sterilization. I tell them, look, half the internal car parts these days are made out of plastic.
I hope they're not sterilizing their
cheap bastards.
Not just heat sterilizing their stuff too. Now these days you have to put.
They got a little kiln in it, like alcohol blows around it or something. Vince.
Yeah.
You're 28.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Turn your radio down, you drunk bastard.
I'm not drunk. It's not up very loud. It's in the other room.
All right, but listen, hold on a second. Listen, everybody. Don't argue with me about whether I can hear your radio or not. Like that goofball the other day called in. I heard a frickin' smoke alarm going off in the background every 10 seconds. And I said, hey, would you do something with your smoke alarm? And she said, you can't hear that. Now, how stupid you got to be? What do I got, a little bank camera in the corner of a room? Is seeing the smoke detector light go on and off? Of course I can hear it. That's why I'm bringing it up. All right, Vince is depressed. I don't know about. Oh my God, let me read Vince's problem. I got to start reading these problems.
Vince, you there?
He's given up on life and his feels hopelessness. Don't let me yell at anyone who's given up on life, Drew.
Vince.
I'm sorry that it was up louder than what I thought.
All right,
what's going on,
all. I apologize.
What's going on there?
I'm 28 and I've never been married, don't have any kids, and single. Can't seem to find anybody.
What are you doing for a living?
Nothing.
Do you have any history of work supporting yourself?
Well, I'm not supposed to work.
Are you taking Vicodin right now?
I'm sorry?
Is Vicodin something you're taking regularly now?
I am 100% disabled.
But are you taking Vicodin regularly?
You mean any kind of psychotropics?
Pain medicine.
Hold on, Vince.
Pain
There's a very popular pain medication called Vicodin.
Vicodin. I have what they call tardive dyskinesia.
Right, from your psychotropics.
Yeah, from years ago. I was incarcerated for 12 years.
Yeah.
Hold on, what does that mean?
It's a mouth movement disorder.
I think I have that too.
Yeah, you kind of do, but
I swear to God, I hear myself on people's answering machines, and I know I have.
What medications are you taking right now?
None.
You're on nothing.
Nope.
You're not on any pain medication?
No, not really, nothing. I was sick for 3 weeks, but I'm okay now, so I'm off the antibiotics and everything.
Okay, and do you have any kind of skill, any kind of trade?
I'm jack of all trades, but master of none.
All right.
So I do just about anything you think of.
All right.
I've done many odd jobs.
Yeah, a lot of carpentry-related things.
Carpentry, cleaning, cooking, everything.
Right. So where are you living now?
Junction City, Kansas.
In what sort of place?
It's a military town.
Uh-huh. Oh, are you living like in a bunker, or do you live in a...
I live in a great big 2-story house.
You do?
Yeah.
How do you support that?
I have a neighbor, which is a tenant that lives upstairs, that helps me with the bill.
Somebody left you the house?
No, we pay rent and everything, me and the other tenant.
In Kansas, you can live in a house.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Here, you get to live on a tent on someone's lawn if you're getting disability.
Yeah, 2 checks every month.
Well, how much you get each month?
Over 5.
Really?
Yeah.
And you were 12 years in prison?
No, I was 12 years incarcerated, basically by my own choice.
Okay, yeah, a psychiatric hospital.
Not all of it. Youth centers is the first part.
Mm-hmm. Did your parents do something bad to you when you were a kid?
When I was, the name I have now is my legally adopted name.
Uh-huh.
I was in foster homes in age 4 and 5 and got legally adopted in age 5.
Okay, but...
So life has been tough.
Life's not been a picnic for you.
No, it hasn't.
All right. So, here's the key to everything, Vince. And you listen to the show?
Yeah, I used to a lot, and then I quit for a while.
Drew got a little preachy?
No, it was good. I liked it. I don't know. I've had,
all right, but...
When I was incarcerated, I was beaten severely.
Oh boy.
The employees of a certain place mentally and physically abused me.
Wow.
Bad.
Okay, so, but Vince, you recognize that I'm a genius, right?
I'm supposed to be an artist, and I write poetry. I used to. There's a poem I wrote called A Genius.
Okay, is my name in that poem?
No, I could tell you.
Wait, could you work it in? Well, tell us the poem very quickly.
It takes a genius to know a genius, but a genius is a person who knows everyone is a genius, and that's what genius is.
There's a certain je ne sais quoi, wouldn't you say, Drew?
Je sais quoi.
The biggest problem that I have, the reason why I'm single now and still I can't find anybody, is because it seems like either a friend or someone I tried to have a relationship, I do something stupid on purpose, but not consciously aware of it.
Yeah.
Because my adoptive family disowned me, my real family.
Okay, hey Vince, listen. We're about out of time, so let me give you this piece of advice. You've had a real difficult life, but you're in one piece, and you're a survivor, and you're living in a two-story house that's pretty big.
It's better than I'm doing.
And doing better than me and Drew. Actually, Drew, I do have 2 stories. So here's what you need to do: forget about women, forget about family. You need to find something that turns you on.
Right, the basics.
I don't care what the pay is, I don't care what the gig is, but you got to get interested in something, and it's going to be in the form of work and a career. Now, I'm not talking about being a doctor or a lawyer. I'm just saying, find something that turns you on. Maybe it's doing finish carpentry. Maybe you get a job as some sort of cabinet maker apprentice. Whatever it is, whether cooking food, whatever it is, find something that turns you on. Find something that gets you out of bed in the morning.
Right.
And once you start doing your thing and finding your groove, people find you, and it makes it a hell of a lot easier for you to find them,
little steps
too.
first. Just take the first step and start developing that structure.
That's right.
Alex.
Hey.
If you don't want kids, don't have them.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Alex.
Well, what do you reckon Vince is costing us?
I don't know.
He said,
Hey, so how you guys been?
Good.
what's going on, Alex?
Good. I'm a little depressed over Vince.
No, well, I'm leaving to Europe tomorrow in the morning, and...
You're 15.
Huh? Yeah.
For what?
School.
Oh, is that there's a rich kid school over there.
You?
Is that the one?
Fago U, it's called.
No, it's where all the Sultan of Brunei sends his kids and stuff.
Heck yeah.
Is that the one?
No,
Yeah,
he's
the
not
Tasman.
going there.
Yeah.
There's only one
that
really-
American school.
Yeah, there's only one American school in Switzerland. All the
Yeah.
You're going to Switzerland?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, is this the one that Sean Lennon went
Yes,
to?
right, exactly.
Really?
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Dude, John Lennon went there?
Sean Lennon.
Oh my god. Oh, Sean. Okay, anyway.
John Lennon worked like a normal human being. That's why he was a great artist, by the way.
Did you choose to go here? Your parents just sending you away?
I was just looking through the internet and I found it. It's pretty cool.
15. You imagine at 15 thinking of that and making that happen?
Your,
Well, plus, this one girl I met in Austria lives in Germany, so it kind of like helps my situation.
your parents have a lot of money, do they?
Mom's a doctor, dad's a producer in Europe.
So is that
Russia, Moscow.
Roman Polanski?
Nah.
No.
You probably never heard of him, but...
Okay, so there's
Anyway,
some money. I'm
huh?
sure I see my dad on Friday. I got to write myself.
Yeah.
I kicked Dad in nuts on Friday. Never got out of North Hollywood. We planned a trip to Van Nuys once, but it fell through at the last minute.
Dude, are you on the air?
Yeah, believe it or not.
That's my other guy. Anyway, so I'm gonna miss you guys a lot. And I was like wondering, what for future notice, what should I get for my girlfriend just in case? I'm like the little safety guy, so I was wondering what pill or what stuff we should get,
What
you know,
pill?
for like safe sex kind of stuff.
Condom.
Well, yeah, besides the condom, because condom's not the full thing, you know.
Condom is, well, abstinence is the full thing, but condom is the only safe sex maneuver you can do. You're talking about contraception.
Well, no, pills. For her.
But that has nothing to do with safe sex.
True, but like the morning after pill, I'm talking about that kind of stuff.
But Alex, stay with me here.
Okay.
Contraception has nothing to do with safe sex.
Okay.
So you want to know how to make sure she doesn't get pregnant?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, is that the same guy who wanted to kick me in the nuts?
Does she want to go on the pill?
Well, it's sort of like a mutual kind of thing.
Does she want to go on the pill?
I hope so. We got to talk about that.
All right, it's her and her health care, between she and her doctor, what choices she makes. Europe, these things are basically over the counter, but doctor will prescribe something for her. Triphasic pills, monophasic pills. There's lots of things to choose from amongst depending on what she tolerates best. But yes, definitely the pill is the safest way to prevent a pregnancy. Most effective way to prevent a pregnancy.
Bastard.
Why?
Going to Switzerland.
I know, with a girlfriend in Germany, and you can imagine that? 15.
15. I was living in North Hollywood. I was actually I was in the worst stage ever in my life because I was basically failing in school, and I was second string on the B football team.
Let
and
me
it
point
crushed
out,
me.
we have been asked to begin talking about our literary debut here, insofar as it pertains to this kind of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're talking about the book?
Yeah.
When's our book coming out?
October 15th or something like that.
You've been telling me a month for the last
No, it's October
4.5
13th
years.
to 15th in there, but in there, Adam describes his misery in great detail.
Right. No, I couldn't imagine going to Switzerland.
Now, we do this thing where we call in as ourselves and answer our own questions as 13, 15, 17, 19, 21.
You know, the funniest thing about the book so far is that Howard Jones, who was in here a couple nights ago,
Wanted to read it.
kept wanting to get it. And I was like, yeah, it'll be out, so big deal. No, when's it come out? I went to buy it. I was like, all right, stop being nice. And he's like, I really want to buy it. I want to read it. I'm interested in this. And I thought to myself, and it's maybe it's because I have low self-esteem or something. I don't want to read the thing.
You haven't.
I've had the book.
Been presented to you 12 times.
I've had the book for, what, a month?
Huh?
I haven't read it. I did skim through it, though.
It actually reads pretty quick.
I know what's
Kinda
in
fun.
it. Vanessa,
Yes.
you're 25.
Yes.
What's going on?
My sister-in-law called last night, Michelle, and she said that you guys were going to call her today about some prescription medication that she had for her HIV.
Yes, Michelle with the HIV.
Oh, yeah, we were trying to get to the bottom of her.
Yeah.
Let me reset because I'm the only one in charge of doing any decent radio in this room.
Okay.
Michelle called in yesterday. Michelle was 22, 23.
22.
22.
Yes.
Michelle got herself HIV. She was HIV positive when she was on a vacation in South or Central America.
Received a blood transfusion in Brazil.
Married at 17.
Had a 5-year-old child.
She wasn't married at 17.
I know. I had a child at 17. Married now 3 months.
Yeah.
Just found out she's HIV positive.
Right.
And she was on something but refusing to go get real treatment.
And I got to tell you, there was some talk about the call being bogus and this and that. It was off the air because we couldn't figure out why she didn't know what her medication was and how come she wasn't interested in getting all the best possible medication. Stop that, Drew.
And why the husband didn't haul her off to insist upon it.
And she then said he didn't really want to hear about it. He was kind of in denial over it. And then I suspected there was some sort of retarded religion sprinkled in here. And as it turns out, there was. And now you're calling to say...
I guess she's had a fever for a couple days. And her husband got home last night. And they called me to come and watch the daughter. She has the beginning of chickenpox. And so they're watching her because...
The child has chickenpox.
No. Michelle has chickenpox. She never had them when she was younger, and I guess she got them from one of the little kids that she was watching and stuff. And so they got her to the hospital. My mom went and took the medication there because she had left it at my mom's house. Kind of find out she had taken the pills and replaced them with, I believe the doctor said, an aspirin. So
she told me they weren't prescription medication last night.
Yeah, they were.
What pills were they?
I don't know. They're not mine. I don't know. But the doctor said that she had that the pills in that bottle were aspirin, not the medication.
All right. So what are they doing with her now?
Well, because of the fact that she hadn't been taking them, I guess something's wrong with her blood count and stuff, and so.
Vanessa, now this story really is unraveling. It doesn't fall at all. So now we're really beginning to think this is bogus.
Well, I don't know. This is where she's at.
Because this isn't making any sense at all right now.
Well, now I guess they wanted to keep her. They want to keep her, so now I guess for further evaluation because of the fact that I guess the older you are with the chickenpox, I guess it's the how did my mom say it?
Varicella.
It's harder. I guess the younger you are.
You spent all that time to find the word harder?
No, I was looking for the word that my mom had said that the doctor had said, but...
All right, so, hey, Michelle? Michelle.
Vanessa.
Vanessa, sorry. Your sister sounds a little like she's got some troubles emotionally.
My sister-in-law?
It's your sister-in-law?
Yeah, my sister-in-law. She married my brother.
Right. Your brother didn't sound like Prince Charming either. I got to be honest with you.
Why do you say that?
Well, the way she described him. How are you doing in the sanity department?
Oh, I don't live here. I don't live in Modesto. I live in Merced. So I talked to them on the phone, and I mean, they seem like they're going okay.
Okay. You just heard the call.
Huh?
Did you just hear her call, or did she call you?
No, my mother-in-law called me, and then she had said something about she had called last night, and they were supposed to call, so... I was waiting here for the call, and I was watching her daughter. And
all right. Well, she's got to take care of her daughter. You know, that's paramount.
Yeah.
And other than that, Mama needs to get treatment. But there's something going on with Mama.
Nothing's making sense in the way they described it, and the way things went down medically. So it's questionable whether this is.
Well, why is she following up on a bogus call?
For the glory of,
Really?
We didn't say we'd call back today, by the way.
We didn't?
No. She said she had some medication that vaguely wasn't really prescribed, but she didn't know what it was. And now there's a big controversy because she replaced it with aspirin, a medicine that wasn't being prescribed anyway. And now she has chickenpox, and a person with HIV and chickenpox is a very specific problem.
Right.
That she's not describing at all the way it would necessarily be handled. So.
Right, but where do you draw the line between a bogus call and a person that's sort of insane? Do you know what I mean?
That's why we're not confronting this one too aggressively, because there's still a possibility that this is real.
Okay.
And that everybody just has their information all screwed up. Now, the point is we need to talk to Michelle again, that's all. I mean, Michelle is now in the hands of presumably people who can give her definitive treatment, but this is a serious ass if it's for real.
Right. Hey, Bob.
Yes.
You're 32?
Yes, I am.
You're diabetic?
I'm 99% sure I'm going to be tested next week.
And you frequently urinate.
Amongst other things, yes.
What do you mean amongst other things?
Well, the blurred vision, the unquenchable thirst, things like that. And unfortunately, it does run in my family. That's why everybody from my wife down to my parents are really pushing me to go get tested. But that's not the problem. I mean, I have no fear of diabetes. Like I said, my mother's got it. I know other people have got it. The problem is, I guess it's partly to do with my age, too. You go to the bathroom, you're going to urinate, and you go to stop, and you think you're done, and it turns out you're really not, but you're already starting to walk away kind of a thing. You know what I'm talking about?
You're dribbling.
Right. Well, when you're going to the bathroom 25, 30 times a day...
You're dribbling a lot.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's starting to cause a real bad irritation on my penis. And
Why is it causing a bad irritation on his penis?
I don't know.
Your penis is... and listen, there's one part of your body that's got to be used to urine. Well, what part would you...
Probably his pants are wet and it's getting what's called macerated. It's just getting sort of wet. And,
All right. Listen, we got to go to break.
All right.
And because Bob is the world's oldest 32-year-old.
Yeah, I know, and Bob has got a much bigger problem than the rash in his penis. Bob, his life is in danger if this is diabetes. He's got to go right away. I mean, he could get something called DKA. He could die.
All right. While you're there, getting the diabetes checked out, get the rash checked out.
Yeah, just go now.
Okay, we'll be back. Loveline, I'm Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew. Drew, your wife called me twice a day in about a 15-second period.
Yeah.
Drew's wife, I swear to God, she'll call, leave a message on your machine, then hit the speed dial.
She knows how to deal with you. How to get you to pick the phone up.
Listen, here's what I do. Whenever I'm home and I'm sleeping, napping, masturbating...
No, you never answer the phone.
...or contemplating anything, I just turn my ringer off.
You never answer the phone no matter what.
Right.
Yeah. So, she was trying.
It could only be bad news.
And it was.
Hi, this is Adam. Please leave a message.
That's what you'll hear when you call my house, everybody. And I won't pick up the phone.
I know that.
And
you picked the phone up for me. I couldn't believe it.
I tell people, hey, call me anytime you want. Call me at 4 in the morning. Maybe I'll be up. But if I'm not, the ringer's off. So you can call me anytime. Doesn't matter. Then I turn the ringer back on whenever I get up. That's the way it goes. And people always say, what if there's an emergency? Like what? Someone's thrown in jail, needs to be bailed out. Someone's broken down by the side of the... Okay, just keep talking. You'll answer that one. I'm sleeping. What if someone's in the hospital? I'll see him in the morning. And here's my point. It's well worth a loved one having a heart attack and being carted in and me not having to go in there at 3 in the morning, which, by the way, hasn't happened yet. And I've been having years of shutting the ringer off and going to bed. This is genius. Listen, all you people, shut the ringer off. I get mad at people when I call them and they're like, hello? Yeah. And like, hey, what's going on? Hey, dude, this is New York. It's 1:30. I was like, shut the ringer off. Drew, do you shut your ringer off?
I have to answer calls all night.
Oh, you poor bastard.
Every night.
Bastard.
Hi, this is Adam. Please leave a message.
I can't sound or be tired when I answer the phone.
The second I try to take a nap or go to sleep without shutting the ringer off, the phone will ring. I have to do it. As a matter of fact, I cannot get any restful sleep if I know the ringer is
So you had a
on.
satisfactory interaction with her?
Yeah, I called her back.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I knew I was going to get another call in about 4 minutes if I didn't, so I called her back. She wanted to know if I wanted an aisle seat or a window seat. I yelled at her anything that makes sense, and that was that. Michelle.
Yo.
Drew's wife's a travel agent.
What's up, Michelle?
Hey, and this is really Michelle, and this is not the Michelle that called the other night. I just wanted to tell you guys that that person that called just a few minutes ago, Vanessa, that was not Vanessa. That was whoever that girl was that called and said she was Michelle the other night. That was the same person. Roll the tape from the other night and roll the tape from today. You'll find out that's the same person. I know because I'm totally blind and I can't see anybody's face, and the only way I know who they are is by their voice. And I can guarantee you that that's the same girl that called.
Interesting. All right,
Both times it was the same, and I knew as soon as she couldn't tell you what medicine she's on, I'm like, this is bull. She's not even telling you the truth.
Let's test you. Okay, who's talking now?
That's Adam.
Okay, who's talking?
I can recognize when you have, callers that have called in before.
Oh, interesting.
No
Very
kidding.
interesting. I don't believe that we have a tape
Darn.
Do we have a tape?
I wish we did, because you find out that's a bogus call. That's the same.
Hey, I'll believe you, because I know when one sense is canceled out, the other ones become much more acute.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Our sense was it was bogus. We talked about it last night as being bogus.
My biggest question to blind people is, how do you know when you got a zit?
You can feel it. So you can't look in the mirror, but you gotta. I usually wash my face every day, so I can usually tell. I mean, I hope most blind people take showers and wash their face and all that stuff.
I got 20/20 vision. I rarely see the shower.
Do you have a career?
Yes, I do. I work in customer service.
Excellent. For what?
Just switching over to AirTouch Cellular pretty soon.
Wow.
New jobs.
Ooh, I need a new phone.
Hey, Michelle, we'll talk off the air, but you've been completely blind since birth.
I sure have, yeah.
And how long did it take them to realize you were blind?
It took them a little while because my eyes look normal. So it took them probably till I was about 8 months old. And they took me I was born in North Carolina, and they put me through Duke University and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Were you one of the
lights in my eyes and all kinds. I can see light and dark, that's it.
Why'd this happen? Do they know?
They have never been able to actually say why, which I think is really weird. They say possibly I had an infection when I was first born in my eyes. So they don't know. I'll come to you, Dr. Drew. You can tell me why.
Is there any chance to reverse this?
I don't know. I still have eyes. I'm hoping they can replace them with some kind of microchip someday.
Wow.
Then I can see what all these ugly people look like, I can watch you guys on TV and see what you really look like.
But isn't it, she doesn't know what, you don't know what people look like.
No.
That is and I know...
So Adam might look lovely to you.
Somehow, I don't know, my image of Adam, I don't know. I'd have to see that.
But the thing that's weird is, and I'm closing my eyes now, is when you're blind from birth, you have nothing to compare anything to, obviously. So I can try to tell you about the color red or the color orange, but it's not going to register
exactly
with you. But you can tell, what the human form is by living in that body yourself.
And, of course, by, having sex and all that good stuff. We do that, too.
The bastard who had sex with you, I'd like to smack him around.
So we know what other people look like, too. I mean,
right.
Not really what they look like in terms of, I can ask, but I won't know, what brown hair looks like.
But now, how do you know what attractive is? I mean, physically. I mean, when you see somebody, you feel that they have a big spare tire around their waist. Does that feel unattractive?
Yes.
And when you hear that Mel Gibson has a thin waist and broad shoulders, does that sound attractive to you?
If his voice sounds attractive, it could be attractive. Of course, if he doesn't sound, if people don't sound attractive, I just can't get into people who have a really obnoxious voice, but,
How interesting.
Now, and I bet you can read people by their voice, not only identify them, but you can tell where they're at.
Exactly. In fact, that's one of the ways I can tell when people are lying, especially on this show. I can really tell, because I got this sixth sense,
Right.
And I can really pick up as soon as they start, getting a little off the track, and I really know. It's real
right. So we get it most of the time, don't we?
A lot of the time.
You've listened to the show for some time now.
Yeah, I have.
And
ever since it came on the buzz.
Give us your assessment of Drew and myself as just human beings.
You guys would kill each other if you lived together.
But, you see, most people's vision of us, pardon the pun, is sort of clouded by our matinee idol good looks. You don't have that.
No, I don't.
Right. So what kind of individual would you say Drew is? I mean, does he have a good vibe?
But wait a minute, but she would have no different impression of that than any other of our listeners.
Well, they may see us on TV or something.
Well, I can tell that you both are total opposites.
Yeah.
I can tell that. But, you guys are probably a lot different on the radio than you are. Like, Drew, you're probably not the same in the hospital as you are on the radio. And, Adam, you're probably the same obnoxious guy all the time. You're probably always the same, regardless of where you are. But, Drew, you're probably, I think, Drew, you're probably a patient person, really patient.
Yeah. These use the P from patient and put a U and two S's and a Y there, and you have what Drew is. All right, Michelle.
Uh-huh.
God bless you. You know, I there was a time in my life when I would have really felt sorry for you, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think so. First off, she sounds more happy and more adjusted than just about any call we've had in the last month. And maybe, you know, it's like they say, you talk to old people and they talk about listening to the radio, and you say, my God, what was life like back then? You didn't have a big screen. You didn't have 700 channels. You didn't have Technicolor. How painful must it have been to sit there and just listen to that wooden box and listen to the Lone Ranger or a Commander Prescott of the Yukon or whatever, the Shadow or whatever radio show there were. And they'll tell you every time, it was marvelous. Oh, it was amazing. And now you're comparing it to you watching TV, but they didn't compare it to them watching TV. That's all they had. And they used their imagination. And I kind of think the joke's on all of us.
Oh, sure.
With all this video games moving at the speed of sound and all this crap going on and all this videos with the fast cut and everything, I'm starting to think, I think it's too much. I think the reason everyone's miserable is the pace of technology. I think being blind, I think everyone should be blind for a year. Straighten us out, and I could get some sex. Carly. Oh.
Hi.
Yeah, we're going to go to break here soon. Go ahead. Is pregnant anything to do to make sex less painful?
Yeah.
How far along are you?
I'm 21 weeks.
Okay, what is that, 6 years? How long is that?
I'm approximately
5
4.5 months,
5 months,
right around there. I'm in my 5th month.
Yeah.
I know that much. When I was first having sex with the guy that is the father, it didn't hurt, but just recently it started hurting.
Where is it hurt?
Like up inside, and then like it's hard to explain.
Is there any bleeding?
No.
Drew, wouldn't it be weird if the penis was going into the mouth of the fetus?
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, God.
You ever think about that?
Oh, no.
Imagine how good that'd be with a guy, though.
Let's go to break.
Getting the oral sex and the penetration.
I've got to kick your ass. Let's go to break. Let's go. Let's go. Now.
Oh, forget about the mouth. What about the backside?
Oh.
Oh, you got the front of mom on the
Even
back
worse.
of Junior. Oh, my God.
Actually, he was afraid of that at first.
Yeah.
The doctor had to tell him that, you know, that's not possible.
Yeah.
Because
You ain't hung like that, buddy.
Position of that.
Oh, this guy's going to make a great father.
All right, if it hurts, don't do it. Very simple. I mean, you're pregnant, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
All right, don't do that.
You have any other kids?
No.
You going to marry this guy?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
You wait and see how things work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to rush
I want to
into
make sure
anything.
we're not going to kill each other.
Yeah.
Oh, you're having a
It's-
child together, Carly. Will you just make a commitment and make it work out, all right?
Yeah.
The child is in the balance here.
Well, the reason that we don't want to get married right away is because we want to make sure that we're not going to break up in a year.
yeah, but you're having a child.
We don't want the baby to get used to us being together if we're not going to be together forever.
All right, neither of your parents were together, right?
His dad wasn't around, and my parents broke up after 21 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, how old is his dad? How old is he? Pardon me?
He's 22.
Okay. You know, it's funny. I was talking to one of my degenerate buddies today, and we're going over very quickly. Oh, Mike, look at him. Wouldn't you go gay or something? Go clean. Go dust something in there, would you?
What?
Mike's got such a puss on. I was talking to one of my degenerate buddies today, and we were talking about all our friends, the troublemakers. The guys who got in a lot of fights, the guys who were in and out of jail, the guys who had the bouts with the drug and alcohol.
No dad.
No dad.
Yeah.
No dad was the through line with all these guys. All the guys that were getting tossed out of school for fighting, all the guys that were getting 502s when they were 20, 21, 22.
That's what DUIs were called 20 years ago, yes.
I used to teach traffic school, buddy.
Yeah. 10 years ago.
Okay. Affirmative. All the guys that were getting in scrapes with the law and scrapes with their girlfriend and wives, all the guys who are still living at home, all these guys, all the losers, all the troublemakers, all the violent guys, all the potential criminals, all the guys without the dads. And then, as I was thinking about this, and I was looking at about 50 guys we knew, and I picked out, 15 of them that didn't have dads, and they all had about the same outcome. Some of them are dead now. Some of them died of drug overdoses. Some of them just bought it on a motorcycle when they were drunk. all of them had spent a little time in the pokey, so on and so forth, rehab, what have you. And I thought to myself, the way society is going, we're screwed. Because I was putting one of my dumb buddies' faces on society and thinking, imagine if there were millions of Daves running around and millions of Seans running around. And I thought to myself, we're doomed. We are doomed unless Papa starts hanging around for long enough so that the kid at least gets into high school, for Christ's sake. We are screwed. Take a look at the black community. Half the guys between like 18 and 24 in jail, the dads are gone. That's the through line. It has nothing to do with skin color. It's got nothing to do with Africa or race or any of this. This is a population whose dads don't stick around. This is a population that ends up in jail. It's the same thing. I don't care what color you are. This is where our society's going. Got to do something to change this. Hey, it is the Love Line. I'm Ace Carolla. That is Dr. Drew, board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Matchbox 20 in here tomorrow night, and it's back to the phones we go. Joe, 17.
What's up, Ace?
What's going on there, Joey?
Hey, so I'm going out with this girl, and she was like, I was telling her that, like, I tell her the truth, you know? Like, I was just going to be straight with her. I wasn't going to give her a whole bunch of crap when she asked me stuff. And so she was, like testing me, you know, because she didn't believe me and all that. And she's like, do you think I should lose weight? And I was like, well...
Oh, no.
It's like, I guess you'd look a little bit better if you lost a little bit of weight.
And that ended your honesty campaign, didn't it, right then?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I was gone.
Yeah,
So, like,
I don't care if they got you hooked up to a lie detector at that point. You don't go honesty route on the weight issue.
yeah, so next thing I know, she's like telling her sister, like, oh, my boyfriend thinks I'm fat and all this stuff. And I was like, oh.
Well, here's the problem.
It's not like that at all, though.
You're just trying to be honest.
Man, she's got issues, though. She's trying to create a conflict, you know?
Sure.
Of course she is. Any woman who utters the phrase, "You think I'm fat," or "Do these jeans make my ass look big," is looking for trouble. Yeah.
Especially after you've made a point of saying how honest you intend to be.
Yeah.
Well, just that, because she was saying, like all guys are, like, all dicks and all this stuff. And I was like, nah, I wouldn't. You know.
What happened to her?
Lots of stuff.
Like what?
Like, her dad used to hit her, and, like, her boyfriends used to hit on her, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
so she's found a nice guy in Joe. Gotta screw that up.
Oh, no, that's why.
Yeah. Yeah, and she doesn't know what it's like to be in a relationship where someone's not hitting on her.
Yeah, she was telling me that.
And so what it is as long as you guys are getting along great, there's no hitting going on.
She's got to try to evoke
She has
something.
to coax it out of you.
Or she'll cheat on you.
So what am I going to do?
Just keep being a nice guy. And we'll see what happens. The cards fall
check it
out.
But, Joe?
She'll either be able to tolerate it or she won't.
You don't have a degree in psychology, do you?
Nah, no kind of
No. You're going to... She may be a handful.
A project.
She may be more than you can handle.
It's like making me feel like crap, saying, like, all this bad stuff.
Well, you have to kill yourself.
Or hit her.
Or hit her. Right. No.
You're saying I got to beat her.
No, Joe.
Drew
We're being
said that.
facetious.
You got to get out of the relationship, Joe.
Nah, man, she's right.
No, all right, hang out, but just don't expect it to be... Expect anything. And don't expect it to make sense, and don't expect the honesty to be reciprocated.
Yes. Okay. This is trouble. Let me tell you, you really need you have to be a behavioral therapist in order to
Have
be
a
in a
relationship today, yeah.
Well, look at what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. I know it's a carryover of our last conversation, but if anyone who's listened to this show for longer than 5 minutes realizes how people do nothing but act out, what a handful people are when they've been raised in the environments that they've been raised in. Now imagine yourself being a 16-year-old guy and you're dating a 15, 16-year-old girl who's been through this environment, or vice versa. You're not equipped to deal with that.
You know, this is such a huge issue, and this determines the stability of our families. Why are we teaching this stuff in schools? Think about it.
Politicians, I'll tell you, I'm going to have to take over this world. That's the only chance we have as a society, everybody. You're going to have to vote for me, and it won't be an election. You have to come. I'm going to rally and bring pitchforks and torches.
To be a warlord.
Take over. Drew, you start playing your cards right.
What? Which is what?
Just You know what I'm saying? Don't get out of line.
Oh, I see.
I make phone screener Lisa my Minister of
Justice.
Justice.
Just like Stalin, you may clean your cabinet once in a while.
Right.
We'll just disappear.
Right. Anna, they'll find you buried under the palace in hundreds of years.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, you're 19. What's going on?
I have a question. My boyfriend and I are coming up on our first-year anniversary, and his name is Braun. He's at work right now at United Grocers.
Oh, sure.
I think he should be listening.
Well, what's he do over at UG?
He unloads and loads different semi trucks with products for grocery stores and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm less sexually experienced than him, but I would like to do something like really nice.
Sure. He's been banging produce for the last 4 years.
I wouldn't know about that. I try not to.
Oh yeah. Does his penis ever smell like melon when he comes home from work?
No.
No. Okay.
Then I'll microwave.
No, but I was wondering if you guys have any ideas for me. I really don't know very much in that area, except for the normal stuff.
About how to surprise him sexually?
Yes.
You ever heard of something called strap-on?
That is not in my category.
You got to go at him from behind.
No,
You have to.
That would not be cool.
He'll expect it. He'll act like it hurts at the beginning, but after about 45 minutes,
No,
he'll start to really settle in their groove.
I don't think that'd be cool.
Okay. How about just good old-fashioned oral sex?
Well,
Okay. How about just good old-fashioned oral sex?
he's had no complaints from that.
Yeah, I know, but I've had no complaints about pie either.
That's not a
a
special thing she's saying. So.
That's not special?
What? I do that already.
You do that already?
Yeah.
I'm trying to... How about letting him watch TV while you're doing it?
I have enough...
You know he's been dying to do that. Mike, you know that'd be the ultimate treat. Let him watch SportsCenter while he's getting oral sex. You can't do that? It doesn't seem special?
I can't get him to talk to me or answer even a question when he's watching TV already.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, this would be the best of all worlds for him.
So basically, bring him his dinner, let him watch TV, and then whatever he
Right. Perform it and just tell him to keep watching. Give him the remote.
He already has the remote.
Okay, one other thing. Do you guys have adult movies?
He does.
He does.
Yeah.
Oh, you know the type he likes?
Just men and women, basically, together.
Boy, you ought to write a book, Anna. The ones where they're like hugging on the front.
Huh?
He doesn't like the Big Top or the Ass Master or any of that.
I don't know the titles. I know he has them. I just haven't seen any yet.
Okay. Why don't you get him one?
Okay.
Go buy him one you think he's going to really like.
Okay.
Wrap it up. And then when he unwraps it, pop it in and perform the oral sex while he gets to watch that. That sounds good.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right.
Okay.
All right, that's good. Believe me, guys don't want to follow the trail of rose petals to the candlelit room. If we can watch a little TV and get the oral sex, that's as good as it's getting. True? Would you agree? Thank you. Travis, you're 15.
Yeah, hey.
What's going on?
Hey, I'm on probation right now, and I smoked last weekend.
Probation for what?
What?
Probation for what?
For getting caught with marijuana.
I imagine that.
So anyway, tomorrow is I can get dropped possibly, and I was wondering like what they test for and.
They test for marijuana.
Yeah, I know, but I know if you put bleach in, they test for that. And
what?
Yeah, if you put bleach under your fingernail and flick it into the urine, they test for that.
But,
oh, I see.
But there's also like stuff like I've been into like Puff and stuff, which is just a store, and they sell clears, the stuff that's supposed to clear out your urine.
Golden Seal.
Something like that. It's called like
Travis, how about trying not to smoke pot? You're on probation
Yeah, I know,
already.
but I'm gonna stop now. But it's already too late for last weekend.
How long had you been off the marijuana before you smoked last weekend?
Probably 2 months.
All right. How much did you smoke last weekend?
Probably a lot. I did it twice between 3 people, 3 joints.
Hey, Hesher, can't you... Listen, I have a hit of weed, I'm stoned.
Okay.
I mean, you give me a hit of a joint. You give me a joint. Like,
You're done.
I'm stoned. Now I'm stoned. And I'm not being tested for probation.
Okay, but I heard...
Now you're good and stoned. And why do you got to keep smoking on the joint? Especially when you know you're going to be tested.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, one bong load and you're stoned. Why do you need 5? I know you're stoned.
Addicts get their brain conditioned to anticipate a certain level of reward, and when they interact with their drug of choice again, they got to go right back to their reward concentration, the reward level. In other words, why do alcoholics, when they start drinking again, pick up right where they left off?
Yeah.
Because this is a biological mechanism etched into the reward centers.
Well, I got to tell you.
They just are forced to that level.
I have none of that. I've had a bag of pot sitting in my house for about 6 months. My friends all come over and take it, and they just keep taking it. And then it's gone.
He may turn up positive. He may not. I'd say it's about more likely that he'll be clean, but it's iffy.
All right, Travis. See, the only people I want to smoke pot are people who are over 18 and don't like it, or don't want to. Hey, if anyone wants to smoke pot once a month, go ahead. But you're on probation. You're smoking pot. You got a problem. Hey, well, that was it.
We're going to compare calls tomorrow night. Michelle versus Vanessa.
Yeah, the blind woman called in and talked about that. Interesting. And I believe her. Oh, yeah. She said she was blind, and all she hears is the voice, and she knows.
We knew something was wrong with that call, so.
Yeah, but it was so sort of convoluted and had so much specific crap in it, and it seemed sort of senseless.
Yeah.
That I thought it was real just because what was the motivation? So it was like a gang shooting or something. Okay. So, until next time, this is Adam Carolla, Matchbox 20 tomorrow night. Adam Carolla, but Dr. Drew saying mahalo.